We meet again for another lesson for English language. This lesson is for Form 1 and it is a non-textbook lesson. Before we begin, let's look at the important information about the lesson. So just now I mentioned that it is for Form 1 and the theme is on science and technology. The unit is recycling. Let's look at the learning standards before we begin our lesson for today. The main skills, listening 1.1.2, understand with little or no support specific information and details in simple longer text on a range of familiar topics. And then we have reading 3.1.2, understand specific details and information in simple longer text. And writing 4.1.2, describe future plans or events. For the complementary skills, we have listening 1.1.4, understand longer sequences of supported classroom instructions. And then reading 3.1.3, guess the meaning of unfamiliar words from clues provided by other known words and by context. And then the last one, writing 4.2.2, spell most high frequency words accurately in independent writing. Let's do the quiz here. The first question is, what is it called when manufacturers take trash and turn it into new products? So what do you think is the answer? Composting, recycling, biodegrading, landfills, or marketing? So the answer is recycling. And then the second question, which of the following materials can be recycled? Glass, paper, metals, plastic, all of the above. So the answer is all of the above. Question 3. True or false? Recycling can be a very complicated process and is different depending on the type of material. So true or false? Answer is true. The fourth question, which of the following is sometimes recycled into fibers for carpets or clothing? Aluminum cans, plastic bottles, paper, computers, all of the above. So the answer is plastic bottles. Now for question 5, which of the following material is converted into a pulp during the recycling process? So you have options here, aluminum cans, plastic bottles, paper, computers, all the above. So the answer is paper. Let's look at question 6. Gold is sometimes recovered from recycling. Which of the following materials? So aluminum can, plastic bottles, paper, computers, all of the above. Answer is computers. Question 7. How many arrows are there in the typical recycling loop? Options 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Answer 3. Question 8. What do the arrows of the recycling loop represent? A. A different step in the recycling process. B. The number of trash cans needed for proper recycling. C. The main materials that can be recycled. And then we have the next one, D. A different method of recycling materials. And the last one, they don't represent anything. So the answer is a different method of a different step in the recycling process. Next, we have number 9. Around what percentage of trash in the United States is recycled? So 5%, 10%, 33%, 60%, 90%. So the answer is 33%. Next question, question 10. What is a benefit of recycling? There is less trash filling up landfills, fewer resources are taken from the earth, less pollution, all of the above, none of the above. So the answer is all of the above. Dear students, let's continue with reading. Read and listen to the article about recycling.
Recycling is a way to take waste and turn it into new products. There are a number of different recycling processes that allow materials to be used more than once. All sorts of materials can be recycled. Some of the most common processes in use today involve recycling plastic, glass, metals, paper, electronics, and textiles. The items people discard are, for example, cans, plastic bottles, milk cartons, newspapers, old computers, and cardboard boxes. Recycling is a complicated process and different for each type of material. Aluminium cans were one of the first items to be heavily recycled. The process isn't quite as complicated as it is for some other materials. The cans are first shredded and then melted. From there, the aluminium can be used to make new cans and other aluminium items. There are a lot of types of plastics and each type is made from a different combination of chemicals. As a result, plastic bottles are first sorted into their various chemical types. After that, they are cleaned to get rid of any leftover food or other waste. Next, the bottles are crushed or shredded into fine plastic chips. Then, the chips can be melted down to create new plastic or turned into a fiber used for making carpets or clothing. Paper starts its recycling process by being mixed with water and other chemicals to break it down. It is shredded and heated up. This process eventually turns the paper into a pulp or slurry. The pulp is strained in order to remove any glues or plastics. After that, it is cleaned and bleached to remove any leftover inks or dyes. Now the pulp is ready to be made into new paper. Computers and batteries are usually recycled in order to remove harmful chemicals as well as to recover, or salvage, some valuable materials such as gold from electronics boards.
Now, here are 4 types of waste or trash. Can you name them? So the first one is aluminum cans. Number 2 is plastic. Number 3, paper. Number 4, computer and batteries. Let's look at the next exercise. Fill in the blanks with suitable answers. You must use only one word. How aluminum can is recycled. Number 1, consumers aluminum cans into a recycle bin. The cans are then collected and taken to a treatment. So the answer, consumers throw aluminum cans into a recycle bin. The cans are then collected and taken to a treatment plant. So for the word throw, you can also use the word discard. Let's continue with step 3 and 4. In the treatment plant, the cans are and cleaned for reprocessing. So answer is, the cans are sorted and cleaned. Number 4, the cans then go a remelting process and are turned into molten aluminium. So answer is, go through a remelting process. Next, this process, the coatings and inks on the cans. So answer is, removes. Next, we are doing step 5 and step 6. The aluminum is then into large blocks called ingots. So the answer is, the aluminum is then made into large blocks called ingots. Next, ingots contain about 1.6 million drinks cans. So answer will be each ingot. Number 7, the ingots are sent to mills where they are out. So answer is rolled out. Now for step 7 and 8. This is then made into aluminum such as cans, chocolate wrapping and meal packaging. So the answer is products. This is then made into aluminum products such as cans, chocolate wrappings, and meal packaging. And the last step, in 6 weeks, the recycled aluminum products are sent back to the ready to be used again. So answer, back to the shops. Now let's continue with the grammar lesson. Today you're going to learn passive constructions. Look at all the phrases which are highlighted in yellow. So here you have can be recycled, were recycled, are shredded, are melted, can be used, are sorted into, are cleaned, are crushed, are shredded, can be melted down, can be turned into, being mixed, is strained, is cleaned, is bleached, is to be made, and into, are recycled. Let's look at how passive sentence or voice is constructed. Look at the examples here. You have can be recycled, can be melted down, can be used, can be turned into. So the structure is you put can and then you add be and then you use the perfect tense. Perfect tense for the verbs that are to either regular such as recycled, melted, used and turned. So these are regular verbs where you add ed, and they are also irregular verbs. Now let's look at were recycled, are shredded, are melted, are sorted into, are cleaned, are crushed, are shredded, is strained, is cleaned, is bleached, is to be made into, are recycled. So here the verb to be, you can use is, are, am for present simple or was, were for past simple. Then you add with perfect tense. So remember there are regular verbs where you add ed like recycled, shredded, melted, sorted, cleaned, crushed, shredded, strained, cleaned, bleached, and recycled. And you also have irregular verbs such as made. Dear students, we usually use the passive voice in writing and speaking. Someone or something which is the agent, for example, the girl. And then we have does something which is the verb, kicked. And then we have to someone or something else which is the recipient, the ball. So the girl kicked the ball. In the passive voice, we change this around so that the recipient has something done to it by the agent. Someone or something, which is the recipient, the ball, has something done to it. So this is the verb. Was kicked by someone or something, which is the agent, by the girl. So the ball was kicked by the girl. This is passive construction. In these examples, spot the use of the active voice and the passive voice. The music was played by the DJ. The sun was hidden by the clouds. Delighted fans streamed onto the pitch. Marie wrote the letter to the head teacher. Danny was praised by the head teacher. So the first one, the music was played by the DJ, is passive. Number 2 is also passive. The sun was hidden by the clouds. Then we have delighted fans stream onto the pitch. So this is active. Marie wrote the letter to the head teacher. This is active. Danny was praised by the head teacher. So this is passive voice. Dear students, sometimes in passive sentences, the agent is left out. Example, someone or something which is the recipient, the pitch. Then we have something done to it, was soaked. By someone or something, the agent. By the rain. We can leave the agent, the rain. We can leave it out. So why do you think that agent might be left out in this example? Dear students, so how do we write passive sentences? Remember, we make the passive by putting the verb to be into whatever tense we need and then adding the past participle. For regular verbs, we make the past participle by adding ed to the infinitive. So plate becomes plate. You can see from the list here, you have many tenses such as present tense, present simple, present continuous, past simple, past continuous, present perfect continuous, past perfect, future simple, and future perfect. Here you also have the examples of the active sentences and also the passive sentences. Dear students, for this lesson, we are going to learn only 3 tenses: present simple, present continuous, and past simple. So let's learn how to write passive sentences. First, present simple. The active, I make a cake. Passive, a cake is made. Or you can say a cake is made by me. She makes a cake. A cake is made by her. They make 2 cakes. 2 cakes are made by them. Next we have present continuous. I am making a cake. A cake is being made by me. She is making a cake. A cake is being made by her. You are making a cake. A cake is being made by you. They are making 2 cakes. 2 cakes are being made by them. And then the last tense is past simple. I made a cake. A cake was made by me. They made a cake. A cake was made by them. Susan made a cake. A cake was made by Susan. They made 2 cakes. 2 cakes were made by them. Dear students, more facts about recycling. What can be recycled? So study this image. Here you have, there are 2 types. First, yes, and then no. Yes means these are the things that can be recycled, and no, these are the things that can't be recycled. Facts about recycling. The recycling loop. Look at this image. This is the image of the recycling loop. The recycling symbol or loop has 3 arrows. Each arrow represents a different step in the recycling process. These steps are: number 1, collecting recyclable materials like aluminum cans and plastic bottles. Next, processing the old materials and making new items. And the last arrow, buying items made from recyclable materials. Benefits of recycling. There are a number of benefits of recycling. These include landfills. Recycling materials mean less trash and saves space in dumps and landfills. And the next one, resources. When we use materials again, this means we can take fewer resources from the earth. And pollution. In general, recycling materials can produce less pollution, helping to keep our environment clean. Get the next activity. It is writing an email. Your friend is planning to organize a class trip to a recycling factory. He or she sent you an email and asked you about which factory to visit and what to do there.
2. Amira123@gmail.com. Subject: Trip to a factory. Hi Amira. I am very happy to know that you are planning a visit for the class. There are several factories in our town of Seremban, but a recycling plant? Well, I managed to surf the website and found a paper recycling plant in Rimbau. You can arrange a tour of the recycling center with the manager of the factory. Students will learn the types of paper materials collected for recycling and see the trucks and machines in action. Then, maybe the students can join a workshop about the stages of recycling. I also found out that all of the tours and workshops are available throughout the year. I hope you will like my suggestion. Do inform me of your decision. Bye. From Nurin.
Dear students, thank you for watching this video. Do remember to subscribe to my channel. It is called Educator Omni Tube. I'm Madam Gan, signing off. See you in another English language lesson. Bye bye.